My name is Professor Andre Douglas Pond Cummings, Professor of Law at the West Virginia University College of Law. And with Professor Anne-Marie LaFazza, we are releasing what we think is an exciting book that will tackle issues in sports law that most people usually would like to see left uninterrogated. It's called Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law. What this book does, which is different than others, or what this book does that others don't, is we interrogate issues, tackle issues, if you will, that most folks would rather leave under the rug or hidden. We talk very openly about racial discrimination in professional and collegiate sports. This book examines the commercialization of sports in the 21st century and the exploitation of athletes. This book talks about gender discrimination and labor issues. One of the exciting things about Reversing Field is that today in 2010, sports has perhaps reached its apex of popularity in the United States and across the world. Literally billions of dollars are invested in professional and collegiate athletics, both in the telecasting of these athletic events, television contracts, expansion of collegiate athletic leagues, labor strikes, lockouts, etc. All of these things dominate the headlines. And yet, as sports has reached perhaps its most popular place, we continue to have real difficulties, dark edges, if you will, in professional sports. That includes racial discrimination, gender discrimination, the commercialization of collegiate sports, as well as labor issues. And what we have done in this book is we've asked 30 of the most prominent legal thinkers in the United States to opine on what they think the resolutions are or should be to these vexing problems. We have contributors such as Floyd Keith, the director of the Black Coaches and Administrators, Kenneth Shropshire, one of the leading sports law thinkers in the United States. We have leading sports law professors in the law schools across the country. We have former labor secretaries under presidential administrations, former university presidents. We have some of the leading female law professors and professors of Title IX, all contributing to what we view to be the dark side of sports and how we can actually bring light, sunlight, if you will, to the dark side of these sports to make sports what it's supposed to be, a level playing field. The one place in America where merit truly matters most, where it's athletic ability or ability to coach or administrate only that's taken into place. And we hope that this book adds to that pathway that sports has taken throughout history in getting to an equal playing field. For example, we have contributors that talk about the Rooney Rule in the National Football League, which has actually allowed a breakthrough in African American head coaches in the National Football League, but we continue to have a problem with African American coaches in collegiate sports. Why do we continue to have this problem? This book examines why we continue to seem to have a racial glass ceiling against African American and other minority head coaches in collegiate sports, and how we can break through. Another example is the continuing struggles we have with Title IX and gender discrimination in collegiate sports, and the difficulty that female athletes have in reaching professional leagues, and how the law contemplates dealing with the continuing problems of pregnant female athletes, or Title IX backlash, the contraction of sports teams at universities across the country. And this book doesn't just discuss what we view to be difficult issues or problems. It actually suggests resolutions, which is why we're so excited about the content. The fact that our book, Reversing Field, examining commercialization, labor, gender, and race in 21st century sports law, is being released by the West Virginia University Press and by professors at the West Virginia University College of Law, we feel like is important. West Virginia University is one of the preeminent public institutions in the United States. As a preeminent institution, West Virginia University represents and struggles with some of the issues that continue to plague collegiate athletics and administration throughout the United States. We have a very prominent athletic program. We have a terrific university administration, and yet there's a consistent struggle at the university level to fight the battle that some authors, Alfred Mathewson from the University of New Mexico, calls the arms race. How do we balance the educational mission of an institution and the desire to be a nationally competitive athletic program? And how do we manage student athletes, multi-million-dollar contracts for coaches, in a way that respects an educational mission of an institution while remembering the very important place that collegiate sports plays for both alumni, fans, and student athletes? Our book grapples with these difficult issues. We have insight from a university president. We have insights from player agents that represent players as they leave college and become professionals. We have insights from law professors, all discussing this delicate balance. And will the arms race overtake collegiate athletics, almost professionalize it, if you will? We discuss that in the book as well. And the role the NCAA must play in balancing the commercialization of athletics as well as the educational mission of these institutions, never forgetting that the student athletes' lives and futures are perhaps the most important piece of collegiate athletics. This book examines that struggle and proposes some solutions that we think are important. My name is André Douglas Pond Cummings, Professor of Law at the West Virginia University College of Law. I am very excited to be publishing, together with my co-editor, Professor Anne-Marie LaFaso, our book, Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law. This book will be released in October 2010. We feel like it's an exciting examination into modern sports and the law's ability to keep pace with all of the changes that have occurred in the United States in the last century.